Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's May the 2nd, 2024. It's a little drizzly outside. It's about 6 degrees, not super warm. It's kind of that in-between spring weather happening right now. First of all, I want to thank everybody who has watched all my videos, or any of my videos for that matter. Yesterday I had my 1000th video come out. It's not why the balloons are there. My balloons are behind me because it was my father-in-law's birthday on the weekend, so we kind of had a little celebration here. And as we do in our household, the balloons kind of stay up. There's even a happy birthday banner that's still up here. They usually stay up for a little while and then they come down unless somebody else's birthday happens to happen next. Which, my father's birthday is coming up. Not too far. He'll be 91, so that's the next milestone birthday I think we have to celebrate. Now, I do want to apologize to some people that have been waiting a little while. Last Friday, I showed you the incoming mail, and I had 4 letters that had stamps in them, and I said I'd get to it at a later date. Well, this is that later date. I had some other things going on, some other videos that I wanted to get out, didn't want to put 2 videos out in the same day. I did take 1 day off that this video could have slotted into, but it was going to be my 1000th video on that day. Whatever video I put out, so I took 1 day off. So I do apologize if you have been waiting extra long to see what was in those envelopes. We are going to get to that today. We are going to do it in a round table format. You've seen me do that once before. I'm going to rotate around this table and show you the stamps that are on it. If you notice from the thumbnail, you can see how the stamps were positioned. There is quite a variety of themes and different things in here. There's some things that I've had to look up, things that we'll talk about. One of the things I thought I probably could have made a whole video about it, and I might still do that in the future, as we're just going to be touching on the topic today for sure. So that's going on. The other thing I do want to talk about, yesterday's video was Stamp of the Month. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that, you should go back and watch it. Make sure you enter in the contest by putting the word tax in the comment of that video, not this video. It only will work if you put it in that video. We talked about revenue stamps yesterday, so that was a lot of fun and a new topic for some people. The other thing I did do is I had a shout out, and I'll continue to do that. Calling all artists is another thing we're trying to do. If you have artistic ability, either you're a writer or a drawer, a painter, a sculptor, you have an online shop that you're trying to sell your wares at, or maybe you just have an Instagram or a Facebook account that you want to have people follow you. Maybe you even put your stuff on YouTube like I do, and you want to get maybe a few more subscribers. What I'm asking is if you can send something small and a description of the art that you do and maybe what you want promoted, then I'm going to do that. And then all the little bits of art that get sent to me, we're going to send off as a giveaway too. So that's a new thing we want to do in order to help this community promote other communities. That being said, let's get to a few stamps that you might be tuning into. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, leave positive comments, and share with other people. Don't forget the notification bell because you don't want to miss out on anything. And here we go. So the first one I want to show is this envelope that came from Olya in Poland. There you can see the stamp she used to send. And then she put a nice card in there that I've shown before too. She does some amazing things in her creative side for decorating. She sent me a few Polish stamps. Some are mint and some are used, and I like them both. So let me show you what she sent. Here are some that came on an envelope, so they're still on paper. They could be soaked off and put off in an album. A very cute cat one there. If you get anything from Poland, you may see these little denomination stamps. They're quite common, but these nice, beautiful, artistic ones are not quite as common to me. Now, these aren't Polish. These are Belarusian. So we have some Belarusian stamps that came, because Olya is originally from Belarus. So some of the correspondence that she has, of course, comes from Belarus. So she sent those on to me. Some nice cancellations on here. But she's now currently living in Poland. So she sent these mint Polish stamps. Very beautiful flower. Some lovely bread. Makes me hungry. You guys know how much I like my food. Their flower. So thank you so much, Olya, for that. The next letter we have, or next envelope we have, is this one. It comes from Alena in Ontario, Canada. And I had mentioned that my father's stamp collection is kind of lacking in some of the US stamps prior to the Second World War. And so she went through her collection. She found some duplicates that she had of some US stamps, hoping that they will fill in some spots. So I want to show you those ones. She actually added in a couple surprises too. So we're going to talk about those as well. First thing she sent were these block stamps. So you get the full image, nice 13-cent stamps. You can see the big cancellation that runs through the middle of them. And then these ones here kind of have the image half and half. You're going to get one side and not the other. It looks like Revolutionary Times. And then some of the original George Washington type stamps that came out. Nice colors, different denominations, different styles. You can see how the typeface changes on some of these. You can tell they're different from different sets. Eisenhower. There's a nice airmail stamp. The other one from Jamaica showed up. It's not part of the US, but it's a nice stamp nonetheless. You can see here she sent a couple of this Christmas stamp, as well as a couple of this Frank Lloyd Wright. Some of these I know are in my father's collection, and there's a couple that I have to check. Florida Centennial, a little bit of a corner chip out of that one, but that's all right. And then she sent this first day cover, or not really a first day cover because it doesn't have all the other information on it. It is a stamp on an envelope that has to do anything yet, so it hasn't got a cancellation or anything. And then this stamp, which she showed me prior to sending, this Canadian stamp, but you can see why I might have been interested in it. It's got a Moncton, New Brunswick cancellation on it. So I'm not sure where it traveled to, but I do know where it came from, and it's kind of nice to know that it's come back home again. I'll treasure this one into the collection for sure. So thank you so much, Alena. All right, the next envelope, and yes, you can still see more decorations from the party exist, and a bit of our messy kitchen. It is what it is. This is this is life, and you're getting to see true life behind me here. I'm not cleaning up for these videos, so this is what you get. Anyways, the next envelope comes from Australia. Comes from our friend Steven. He has sent these beautiful food stamps, and he sent me a card from the Adelaide Zoo, which basically says, I know you like food, so I thought of you when I sent you these stamps. And then if I wanted more information, I could contact him, and he certainly would tell me what he knows about it. He didn't know why the stamps were issued, because he thought that Australia really doesn't have any of its own cuisine, which I don't think is 100% true. When I was there, I was fortunate enough to have kangaroo and crocodile, which they both tasted good. So, but it's not a cuisine you're going to get anywhere else. Most likely not going to get in most places anyways. So they do have their own cuisine that way. Certainly everyone talks about the typical shrimp on the Barbie. You can get shrimp on barbecues in other places too, but it is something that you associate with Australia for sure. Well, one of the things that he did send was a miniature sheet of those stamps that are on the envelope. So I'm going to show you those, but he has included some other things too. And I was pretty shocked and happy about the timing of when they arrived. I didn't open the envelope until today, the miniature envelope that is, inside, so I saw exactly what he sent. I did see these though, so when I opened it up to get the cards and saw the miniature sheet that he sent, he also included these stamps with these beautiful cancellations on them. So these are definitely stamps you don't soak off the paper, you keep them as is, so you have these cancellations to go with them that match the stamps. So there are a few different ones from France. These are not Australian stamps, but this is certainly an Australian stamp. This mini sheet, including all of those lovely variety of food in there. Makes your mouth water just looking at it. The shared table. So you can see it is cuisine from all over the place brought together. He said gastronomy. can't remember how he put it eloquently, but he did. He put it in a nice way. Gastronomical colonization or something to that effect. Which, if that's the way you're going to colonize, I think that's the way to go. Bring your food. Let everybody adapt, and we can enjoy food from around the world. Now, he wasn't done, though. He also sent another envelope that I opened up just today, and these have some early Canadian stamps in them. Now, I did check against my father's collection. He does have them in the collection, but these are nice examples, and some of them might be even nicer than what he has in the collection. This one I really particularly like, the 5-cent one, because, right here, because of the way it's off-cut. It's not perfectly centered, so it's unusual that way. And you can see this 8-cent one is from a different series where she's looking the opposite direction. And then this is a bill stamp. So if you look back at my revenue video I did yesterday on Stamp of the Month, there's one on cigarettes. These fit perfectly. It's almost like he knew that was coming up. I guess had I opened the envelope a little bit earlier, I could have featured them yesterday. But these are perfect to fit. There's a law stamp. Now the law stamps I showed yesterday were all provincial ones. This is Canada, so you can see it came out a little bit later. The date on it, though, looks like it's 1867. If that's correct, then that's the date Canada became a country. So a very nice allotment of stamps. Thank you so much, Steve. Now the last view on the fourth position of this round table. You can see there's a hedgehog calendar that way. There we go. Yeah, every year we get a hedgehog calendar. It's kind of been our tradition for a long time. We used to have a Weimaraner dog, and we get a Weimaraner calendar every Christmas. Now we've moved into hedgehog calendars because of Polo. Well, then let's get to the envelope. This envelope showed up. This was a surprise envelope. This comes from Robert in Manitoba, and I think on Friday I said Robert in New Brunswick. I must have had my own province on my head, but Robert's in Manitoba. So he sent this, and I hadn't talked to Robert before. He says that he has been in Moncton before a long time ago, and he said "Go Jets Go," which is a throwback to our American Hockey League team that we used to have here, the Moncton Jets. We no longer have them anymore. We are in the Quebec Major Junior League now, so it is the Wildcats. So instead of "Go Jets Go," it's "Go Wildcats Go." Well, he sent me a nice little letter, and he said that he knew that I was interested in stamps. He wanted to know whether I was interested in trading some stamps. And then he gave specific things that he was collecting. And it says, in exchange, I'm offering a collection of uncanceled Christmas seal stamps from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as well as a Blackbridge, Ontario cover cancel. These items hold sentimental value to me as they were in my great aunt's collection. I believe they would make a valuable addition to your collection. So that being said, I have responded. I have sent some things back to him as a swap. When it came to Christmas seals, I was unfamiliar. Now, I've seen them before, don't get me wrong, but I was unfamiliar with them as a collector's item. And so I went to my Scott catalog to look for them, and they weren't there. So luckily at the stamp show last month, I got a Unitrade catalog. And inside, this is all just Canada, there is a section on the National Christmas Seals Program and all the stamps, and they have them a catalog number associated to them, so people are collecting these. This would be a great topic, so maybe in the future I'll go into it in more detail, but I'm going to show you what Robert sent. First thing starting out are these canceled stamps. They're the Blackbridge cancel he shows as well. So I'm not familiar on Waterford, Ontario, and the this particular cancellation, so it's something I'd have to look into, but nice stamps, nice clear cancellation. Then these Canadian Wildlife Federation stamps. So once again, these aren't postage stamps. They would be something up and above that you would collect, like a Cinderella stamp. But these are the seals. So these are all from 1982. Here are some from 1969, 1971, 1970, they're clearly marked. 1978. 1974, my birth year. And then these ones here from 1972, a nice long, I would like to say uninterrupted, but they're interrupted sheet. But a nice variety of the stamps, including the header on some of them here. So fighting tuberculosis. So this comes from the Lung Foundation, as you can see with the symbols. So those are some Christmas seals. Robert, thank you so much for sending these and making myself aware. If you don't have the right catalogs, you kind of don't know what's going on. Now, that being said, Stanley Gibbons, if you happen to be watching, I don't have one of your catalogs. If you want to send one to me, you certainly can. I'd love to be able to go through it and see what most people in Europe use Stanley Gibbons as their catalog. So I'd love to be able to see what you guys do differently. So if you have one for Canada and you're willing to part with it and let me promote it, that's my little plug out to you guys if you happen to be watching. In the meantime, Scott and Unitrade are what I'm going to be using for my sources. Now, I know there are specific catalogs. Scott probably does a specific catalog that would have these in them that I don't have in the regular set. So they do extra things up and above the regular country ones. Yeah, so Christmas seals. Who knew? That's something else you can collect. Yesterday I talked about revenue stamps. Today I'm talking Christmas seals. I already have an idea for what I'm talking about in June, and I'm going to start kind of amassing something for that. And I think you'll be pleased with what it is. If you're a stamp collector, I think we've all encountered these stamps. So stay tuned for that in the future. But for now, keep watching. We'll see what else comes out, what other surprises show up in my mail. All of these things were kind of a surprise to me when they arrived. And I'm very happy when I'm able to show off other things that are happening around the world, whether it's stamps from Poland and Belarus or from the United States, older Canadian stamps, French cancels and matching stamps, or these Christmas seals. All interesting topics to me, at least, hopefully to you as well. And for now, have a magical week. Like Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?